Good morning, people. It's Friday morning. Hope you're in for a fantastic day and an even better weekend. I want to take you to Mark chapter 16 again, and we're slowly winding up this beautiful book. But I want to talk to you some more about the two men that is declared in Mark 16 took a journey. You see, they had left Jerusalem, they'd seen Jesus die, and they were disappointed to the core. Now, disappointment is one thing, but disappointment with God is another thing. You see, these good men, these two disciples, had believed so implicitly that Jesus was going to be the Messiah in the sense that he would be a deliverer, a military ruler. He had come in and deliver the Israelites from the hands of the Romans and would restore to them the beauty of being independent people again. And they had this picture of a physical Messiah who would do physical things. Now, we know Jesus was a physical Messiah, but certainly not in the model or the mold that they were expecting. And so you picture just visualize the conversations that were taking place between these two men as they left Jerusalem, how they would be verbalizing their disappointment. Man, we thought he was going to be the guy. He spoke the big stuff. He did the great miracles, and yet at the end of the day, he's not what we thought he was going to be. And therein lies the problem. He wasn't what they thought he was going to be. You see, sometimes God comes to us in shapes and forms that we don't always understand. Sometimes we have this preconceived idea about what God should be. And we make God sometimes in our own image. He made us in his image back in the Garden of Eden, and all we've done is return the favor by making him in ours. And we have this picture of God being a particular type of person. We have this ranging all the way from being a Father Christmas type figure right the way through to being a ruthless judge and like an accountant who's sitting there counting all the wrong things that we have done. And we make so many mistakes. But these two guys did something good. They invited Jesus in. Because as they were walking, apparently the passage in Luke chapter 24 helps us to understand this passage in Mark 16, where it says these two men met Jesus on the highway. They did not know it was him. That's crazy. Until they invited him in, because Jesus was acting like he was going to continue his journey. But they invited him in. And when they invited him in and broke bread with Jesus, suddenly they saw him for who he was. You see, in any situation, in any problem that you have, in any crisis in your life, Jesus waits to be invited in. And when you share fellowship with him in the midst of your disappointment, albeit sometimes even of God, even when you're disappointed with God and he doesn't come to the party as you think he should come to the party, he doesn't answer your prayers as you think he should answer your prayers, go ahead still and invite him in. And when you fellowship with God as they did, in the sense that they shared this beautiful meal with Jesus, and as they shared the meal with Jesus after having invited him in, all of a sudden their spiritual eyes, as we spoke about the other day, were opened. Maybe today on this Friday, you're looking back over the course of the week. It's been a tough one. I understand that completely. And yet when we invite Jesus in and we fellowship with him in the depth of a great, in a meal, where a meal is the greatest unit for human fellowship, where we sit down and we eat together. You don't have to sit down and physically eat with Jesus. You can do that if you want to by taking your own private communion. Nothing wrong with that. That's a great thing to do. I do it often. But there comes something favorable in your realm of influence, in your realm of responsibility, in your realm of the stuff that you're going through when you invite him in. Fellowship deeply with him. Put aside your preconceived ideas and say, God, I'm disappointed. It's okay to say that. You do know that. Tell God you're disappointed because, he didn't come through for you or whatever. But at the same time, maybe you need to adjust your thinking on who God is, how he reveals himself, and do that according to the scriptures not according to how you perceive it in your mind. When you open the scriptures and fellowship with God at a time of deep disappointment and discouragement, all of a sudden, I don't understand it, and I wish I could explain it, but I can't. God has a way of coming into, in a sense, break bread with you and enjoy the fellowship at the same time. So I don't know if that's of any use to you today at the end of this week. It's been a tough one. It's been a hard one for many. My heart goes out to you. Spend some time. Invite him in, share fellowship with him, and change your perspective of who he is. I hope that's helpful. Have a great day. We'll see you on Monday. Bye.